Hi, everybody. Welcome to mid-January 2026 and the Hoopercast. It's me, Hiatus Land. We're almost there. We're almost to the end of the line until the new episodes come out. This is Friday, January 16th, and this is episode 573, Handmaid's Tale. You all know about The Handmaid's Tale. If you're listening to this episode, you've watched at least some of it, enough to want to know how it ends. So I encourage you to watch the show before you listen to this discussion, but it is a brief review because I'm not discussing the show with anybody. I'm just kind of recapping how I feel about the show overall. This is episode 573, The Handmaid's Tale. Please enjoy. Talk briefly about The Handmaid's Tale.
Okay.
For years, we've been afraid of them. Now it's time for them to be afraid of us.
We need to hold those terrorist rebels accountable. They need to be reminded who they're dealing with.
We can't just let them win.
Mayday's working on a plan to kill extremist commanders. If you want to fight, then let's fight together.
God has a plan for me, and I cannot hide from his plan anymore.
We broke this country, and now we have to fix it together.
This is Gilead. The only person you should count on is yourself.
I am trying to give you a way out.
There is no way out.
How many bodies are you gonna throw in the fire? When is enough enough?
When there's no one left to fight.
We're just two lunatics going into Gilead on a wing and a prayer.
They will never see us coming.
Oh, hell no.
Blessed be the fruit.
Let the revolution begin.
We may be beyond saving, but we gotta try.
Sometimes I think you're the only good thing in my life.
I built this miserable hellscape.
This is the beginning of the end. What's happening?
Rebellion.
Rise up and fight for your freedom.
Where is June Osborne?
This lie's gonna land you on the wall.
They still got my daughter!
You're just like the rest of them.
We use all of our friends, everyone and anyone who hates Gilead,
To finally declare enough.
The Handmaid's Tale recently ended or concluded its 6-season run. The final season was in, I think, May. It was in May.
Okay.
So this is the show. It's on Hulu, based on the Margaret Atwood novel. Very popular show. You've definitely heard of it. Starring Elizabeth Moss, lots of great actors. Most notably Elizabeth Moss and Yvonne Strahovski. Ann Dowd, I'll give credit because she's always great. And this is getting like a spin-off. Hulu and MGM want to do like this spin-off on the new novel, the Testaments one that Margaret Atwood wrote, which is supposed to be after the events of all of this, about 15 years after. And now that I've seen the show, it's like, oh, I'm kind of interested in that. It makes me want to read that book and then probably tune in for the series. Sure. This show kind of ends with, open-ended in a way.
Sure.
But The Handmaid's Tale, I've always enjoyed. But for some reason, I just dragged ass, getting to watch this final season for several reasons. And I think I felt dragged out by previous seasons. There's one season, I think maybe it's the fourth one, that felt really slow to me because circumstances forced the main protagonist kind of away from the main action. So it's not as immediate and engaging as other seasons. But of course, this being the final one, everything's kind of coming to a head. And the whole premise of the show being that, America had a civil war and, well, I wouldn't really even say it was a civil war. I mean, there was a coup.
A split, yeah.
Yeah, and it says theonomic, but, a theocracy took place. They named it Gilead, and then they subjugated all of the childbearing women and all that, just became, and the whole thing starts because of this birth crisis. And so it's like, well, now we have this justification to make these people give us children. But there's all these obviously hypocrisy and double standards, and it's all forced around, what's dictated by the men in power. And it's fucking awful. And it's awful, it sucks. To bring a premise like that to its conclusion, it can be tough because it's like, well, within a season of television, you have to essentially like that it could be stopped, and that it could be stopped in this amount of time with this amount of characters. I don't think it's a spoiler to say just from the end of the season. Like I'm sure that people who have not watched this show do not assume that there is no victory at all at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Right. There's going to be victory.
Yep.
It's not total victory. It is, hey, we did this, got plenty more to go, but we're going to get there.
Yep.
And the show ends.
Yep.
Because, the exciting part's kind of over. Like, we beat the bad guys here. Now we've got to kind of keep the momentum going and free other states, basically.
Sure.
So, that's how you would do it. You can't have just the entire country liberated. You got to start.
One person makes a really persuasive speech and everyone's like, oh my gosh, we've been terrible.
We've forgotten our values. Yeah. I think I was trying to also just to watch things on other networks that I wasn't planning on keeping. I kept getting these subscriptions thrown at me that were limited. And I was like, oh shit, I'm going to direct my attention elsewhere. This is on Hulu. I've got all the time in the world to watch it. And I did that thing. I had too many choices. And so I was starting to triage. Like, I want to watch this, but I want to watch this other stuff before I can't watch it, and it's stupid. And I also think that this was in the spring of this year. The current political climate itself is kind of got me already enough on edge to not really get excited about a show with a similar feeling amount of tyranny, and injustice. But I'm glad I watched it because as soon as I sat down, I remembered why I like this show, other than great premise and timely messaging always. I mean, I think the show premiered in 2017. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So this show has kind of always, whether it liked it or not, been sort of weaponized as a response to the Trump administration. But other than the subject matter, the filmmaking on this show is as good as ever. Elizabeth Moss herself directs several of these episodes in season 6, and it's 10 episodes, 4 of them, including the finale.
Wow.
Yeah. Awesome. Considering like that's the finale of a series. You're the main character. Like, and it's done really well. And so whenever her name is in the credits at the end, I'm always like, shit, I knew that was you. It was good. It was great. She's good at this. I think if no one has watched the show, you really should. I think there's a lot to appreciate. I can tell you that it ends in a way that I don't think it's like a gangbusters satisfying ending, but like it's a satisfying ending to a long running show. And it's going to be a catharsis and the hope that you might need if you're scared or angry or frustrated right now. I think that a show like this that suggests and makes possible the idea that this kind of oppression can be stopped, even if it's a fictional world. I mean, this is kind of what art is supposed to do. Like, in a way, I haven't heard much about the ending of this having occurred, like by Memorial Day this year, when already plenty of stuff was going on. I don't even know when we're releasing this episode. I mean, God only knows what's going to be going on by then, but even right now, shit's real bad. So I think that if you are able to watch a show, which, takes about half the series for things to sort of get better, I think it's worth it to get to the end and go, okay,
cool.
Like, we got there. We can, like, don't lose hope, you know? I found that inspiring and refreshing and kind of put a pep in my step a little bit, you know?
Cool.
So it's it's great story. Super well executed series. Like I said, I'm now interested in this Testaments book. Great cast, great filmmaking. Just really well done. So
nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that's The Handmaid's Tale.